Aislinn Jowers, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Having just played Minnesota on Sunday, what was the difference between these two games besides the outcome of the game?
Actually, very similar. Really similar. Didn't get off to a good start. Battled back quicker, even tied at the end of the first quarter. It was offensive rebounds. We gave up too many offensive rebounds. Turned it over too many times in the second half. And quite frankly, if you look at why we lost the basketball game, we didn't put the ball in the basket from 2 feet. So, when you look at our posts, they were, 8 for 25, and most of those were inside of 5 feet. So, we just struggled to score at the rim, and this is not a shot blocking team. So, ultimately I thought that last group really battled. I think Naphisha Collier affects the game in more ways than points. Her offensive rebounding, they use her as a helper. They know Dantas is going to get beat on the roll. They know she's going to beat it off the bounce, and Collier does an amazing job of coming and bringing length. And, we just didn't play through her contact.
Carrie Thomas, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Atlanta United, they did not play their match on Wednesday in solidarity. Atlanta Hawks coach Pierce has been very vocal with his stance on systemic racism and social injustice. How does that make you feel to have other home team leagues support? And have you spoken to any of the other coaches on the other teams?
I have not. I think this is it's an issue that is so much bigger than Atlanta. It's so much bigger than professional sports. I think the solidarity is the solidarity from coast to coast in this country. As we say, sea from shining sea. This is it's a big deal. And I think what we're trying to say is, Black lives matter, and they can't matter until, when you say all lives matter, then Black lives have to matter. So, I think it's continuing to talk about that message, that equality means equality. And, is that too much to ask for? I think our message is the same. I coach incredible Black athletes, but they're more than athletes. And when they go home, they're human, and they're Black, and, they have brothers, and, they're affected by this, and the emotions in this, like the emotions were heavy. Like, I honestly think part of why Elizabeth Williams missed some layups today is, this has been heavy. She's on the executive committee. She's had to speak for her teammates. She's had to speak for all 144 players in this league. I just think it's wearing on her. It's emotional. There's a lot. As teams were reflecting over the last 2 days and almost having a day off, she was on TV, and she was on this, and she was on that, and I thought it showed tonight, because this is a bigger issue than basketball.
All right, last call for questions. We've got one from Michelle Vopel. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, Coach, I think a lot of people have been saying, how frustrating it is that, all this whole movement, and we still see these things happening. But is there also a beacon, if you will, that there is this movement? The attention that's getting, the fact that, like you said, Elizabeth is on national television talking about this, as hard as it is, that we're still in a better place maybe than we would have been 10 years ago when the WNBA wasn't getting the same kind of attention for social justice issues, even though the league was working for things like that then.
And I think these things have been happening. We're just now seeing them. We're seeing them on TV. We're hearing about them. It's not just scrolled on the news. Like, it's, what has happened in 20 years since the beginning of the league? 25 years we're almost to, with this league. And these things were happening 25 years ago. We just weren't seeing them. They weren't in our face, And I think, white privilege is real. And I know I've grown up with it. And I know that, now it's in front of me. and I can't ignore it. I can't pretend it's not happening. You know, I have to be an ally, and you know, so I think it probably has gotten better, but it probably at times doesn't feel like it to them, because they're seeing it and it's so graphic and it's so painful, because they do view it as that could be my brother, that could be my father, you know, Breonna Taylor could be me, and so, you know, I think big picture, you know, we probably have made progress in this country. The problem is we probably haven't made enough. And so hopefully, you know, we're continuing to spotlight that we can do better. We can be better, you know, like we're all humans. And at the end of the day, like, you know, we have to see it that way. You know, and I just, you know, this stuff has been heavy, you know, it's been heavy, and trying to figure out as a coach how to not be overly sensitive or undersensitive, or trying to gauge the room and trying to ask the tough questions, and at the same time, you know, bring some sense of, you know, basketball is our safe haven. Basketball is where we can just, you know, kind of be with each other and have each other's back, and shut it down for 2 hours, you know, but at the end, but when those 2 hours are over, they live it. They live it every day.
I guess I'm sorry. Maybe I phrased that poorly. I wasn't trying to say, I don't know if we've made progress or not in the country, but we maybe made progress with the WNBA's profile is in terms of.
I mean, I don't think there's any doubt more games are on TV, and, you know, I mean, while, you know, the fact that, you know, when obviously there was, call it what you will, the reflection, stepping away, not playing the other night, having the platform to go on ESPN and talk about it, you know, right then and there, being able to come back the next day and talk about it on ESPN with the executive committee. There's no doubt that, you know, I know they say that our platform isn't as big as the NBA, and it isn't. I mean, that's just the reality. But we still have a platform, and they're still reaching people, and we're still getting emails and texts from people thanking us for what we're doing, and you know, and so, yeah, I mean, I do think the visibility of our league has grown, even though it may not be the visibility, and we're still going to get trolls, and we're still going to get people telling us to shut up and stay in the kitchen, and who cares, and what's the WNBA, and all of that. We're going to get that, you know, which I'll never understand, but, you know, it is what it is, you know, so we're just going to keep on doing what we do, and, you know, continuing to push for change, and find those, you know, ways that we can put it into action, whether it's voting, the census, you know, continuing to talk about it. So, yeah, you know, from that perspective, I think you're absolutely right, Michelle. I do think there's progress in terms of the visibility that our league has, that our players have, and the platform to share this.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Sorry.
Gotta fix the hair first.
Yeah. All right, we're good.
All right, Blake, why don't you start by talking about how it feels to come back onto the court tonight after the last few days in your game?
Yeah, it's been really heavy. We were the first game that night, and so the decision happened less than 30 minutes before tip-off, so that was really a lot to handle when you think you're preparing for a game and you hear the talk that the NBA is doing something, and then suddenly we're showing our solidarity with them, which was great, but it was just, it all happened so quickly, and then we had the vigil and we had a full league meeting, and I think we got a lot done and we got refocused on what our goal for the season is. And so that's why the shirt is on backwards, because I wanted to say her name to be in the front for media, because these are the people we're focusing on, are the women, Breonna Taylor, Michelle Cousseau, and everyone else. So.
All right, Aislinn Jowers, go ahead.
Hey, Blake, like you said, you're wearing the shirts, but how do you continue to advocate for your teammates both on and off the court while they're fighting for social justice?
For sure. I actually had my college teammate who is a great friend and an amazing artist. She painted me a pair of shoes. I haven't worn them yet in the game, but I will very soon. They have Black Lives Matter. They have Vote Warnock. They have lots of different social justice things on them, and they're gorgeous. And I'm going to auction them off and donate the money to the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation in honor of Kobe. We've been honoring Kobe this week as well. And yeah, the purpose of that is just to create, because that foundation gives money to youth and keeping youth involved in sports, especially girls. And so the purpose of that donation is to create more strong, powerful women like the ones that are in this league.
All right, Yakiri Thomas, go ahead.
Hi, Blake. Can you just speak on just the importance of you just taking your stance on social injustice?
Yeah, I think we have a platform. It might not be as big as the NBA, but we certainly have one, and I think we need to use it. I think my job is to elevate the voices of Black and brown women in this league for the most part, and listen and learn and do my best to just understand and support my teammates any way that I can.
And Bailey Johnson, last question.
Hi, Blake. I'm just wondering what it was like to be back on the court today and play a game after everything in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone, but for me, working out and basketball in particular it's my sanctuary, it's my safe space. So I try the moment I step on the court for warm up to not think about anything else. It's so hard right now, but I really just try to focus on basketball. And then when the game is over or the practice is over, we get back to the other work. But when I'm on the court, I'm really just trying to focus on winning the game and being the best teammate I can be.
All right, thanks, Blake.
Thank you.
Aislinn Jowers, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
How important is it to you to be an advocate for social justice while still playing the game of basketball?
Sorry, it's a little loud in here. I didn't quite get that.
Oh, you're good. How important is it to you to be an advocate for social justice while still playing the game of basketball?
It's very important. That was one of the main reasons for us, coming here. We came here so that we could play and use our voice for the social injustices that are going on. That's why we wear these T-shirts every game, for warm-ups. It's always Black Lives Matter we have on the court. So it's important for us to be able to continue to use our voice, use our platform to, make a stand. So that's what we've been doing.
Again, if you have a question, please raise your hand. I'll call on you. Bailey Johnson, go ahead.
Betnijah, I'm just wondering what it felt like to be back on the court today after everything the last couple of days.
The past couple of days, it's been really heavy. So I think that we needed that break that we had to just really reflect on everything that's been going on, because it's just been crazy. But at the same time, this is our release from that, but not entirely, because like I said, we're able to go out there and have it on our shirts, go out there and have it on the big screen, go out there and have it on the court. So those past few days were just a time for us to reflect and keep in mind everything that's going on while we're still playing basketball.
Yakiri Thomas, go ahead.
Yes. Could you just speak on what has been your motivation just to keep going through this tough time?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Could you speak on your motivation just to keep pushing through this tough time, this very heavy time that we're in right now?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of everything, my family, everything that's been going on, realizing why we're in this bubble is to make a stance, and just keep reminding people as they're watching us, every day, Black Lives Matter, every day, say her name. Every day is a fight against social injustice. So for us, so that's just pretty much been my motivation to keep playing hard, and just trying to give it my all.
All right, thanks, Josh.